Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to the OCC recap with me, Cornite, and with me as usual is Danton. Say hello, Danton.
Hello, hello.
I wonder if that's actually audible.
You can hear me, but you're saying that OBS might not.
I paused for a second there because I was trying to listen to the stream. I don't know if you are audible.
Um, Actually, let me just
That's weird
let me
because no,
just.
you're definitely appearing on Discord's. Yeah, say something again, Danton. Talk.
Yeah, hello, hello. I'm here. Can you hear me? I can't hear myself on the stream.
Ah, that's weird because the
I,
Discord.
I can I can hear myself now. Hang on. Yeah, I think yeah.
But you're still quite quiet, aren't you? I'll turn you up
Still very
more.
quiet. Yeah.
Alright, more talking though. Lol. We should do an audio test before. Oh, and also I should turn sound music off, shouldn't I? Lol, that would help.
The sound of music.
Alright. I think you're loud now, right?
Um, I mean, it depends how you define loud. I think, compared to you, I think I'll never be loud.
You're right. You are still quite quiet compared to me. I will turn myself down and hope that people can manage the can turn the volume up on the stream.
We're gonna have to invest in a proper microphone.
Yeah, is it a laptop mic or something?
I mean, I just like plugged in some, mobile phone headphones into the audio jack of the laptop.
Okay, I'm pumping up some more.
Yeah.
Although I'm slightly nervous it might make you sound a little bit distorted because we're on 14 decibels now.
That,
Anyway,
is it
okay,
scary?
there. Let's just start anyway.
Anyway, yeah, 1A. So we have 2 weeks of 1A betting to get through. Are you still fiddling
Yeah,
or?
yeah. I was. I was. I'm. Every time you talk, I try and I'm listening to it come across on the stream, and thinking I should turn you up, which obviously isn't great for the stream. But hopefully no one watches the beginning. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, no one watches the stream anyway, so we're
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. Well, I'm sure everyone's. Normally, there's some fiddling at the beginning, right?
There
Actually,
is.
that sounds much better. I think. All right. I think
See,
I.
Radamo. I think I've seen Radamo is in the stream. Maybe he can tell us. Am I very inaudible, Radamo? Talk to us. Of course, if he can't hear me, then he's not going to talk to us
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what. No, I can hear you. I do have the stream turned up. Also, Ramo could be watching while at work and have the volume off or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Although
also slightly see through, but I can't be bothered with that.
watching our
Um,
stream with the volume off is a bit pointless.
yeah. I don't know. He's watching our beautiful faces. How dare you suggest such a thing? Um,
Your in inverted commas
hmm,
beautiful.
fine. All right. Anyway, yeah. As you were saying, we missed off 1A last week. Ethelred's late, so we're going to start the stream without him and quickly do 1A, the betting for week 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
And catch that up. I guess we'll carry on from that and do week 6 and
Yeah.
do 1A first. Yeah, I guess
Let's
it's
just
only fair.
try and do it quickly, I guess.
Well, we can look at the games from the previous week quickly, and then and then go on to normal, the normal scheduled program, I guess, right? So the first
Hmm.
game of the week was Kunxian's Bedlam Bucks against Hydra Boys. It
Yeah.
was 2-1 to Cuxian, the murder chaos team.
Yeah.
Um,
So Unsurprising, really, given the amount of claw.
Yeah, against a poor Orc team. Although I think he got beaten by another Orc team the week before.
He
Um,
did get beaten up by Captain Badrick's Raiders. Yeah.
yeah, it turns out that 2,300 Orcs are still better than 2,000 TV Chaos. um, but yeah, no permanent damage for the Heisman boys and a bunch of SPP. So I guess a lot of badly hurts for the Chaos. Actually, not that
So
many, but anyway.
only four people actually bet on the chaos. Um, they were Palladius, myself, Kinroth, and Ethel.
Palladius,
Have you got the spread?
Kinroth.
Can't see the spreadsheet on the stream.
Oh yeah, because I've got the um. La la. Oh no, that's the wrong one. There we go. I am going to copy across OCC standings onto the desktop. There we go. So now you can see it on both places.
Yeah.
You're all right. So I've done Palladius, Kinroth. You said yourself as well, and someone else. Who was the fourth person?
Ethel.
Ethel. We could miss out Ethel.
Well, he's not here, so I
Yeah,
suppose we.
I've added him anyway. All right, fine.
Right. Next one was myself against the aforementioned Captain Badrick's Raiders.
I would be guessing that that would be a bad time for a 12,000 TV. Oh no, you have 17,000 now. That's not bad.
Well, yeah, but at the time, I think I was less. I think I had an MNG or two.
You had you got to have Morg.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, you
Morg,
had 70. You were 1,700, but against a 2,460 TV Orc team, that still gives you
yeah,
700 TV of inducements, right?
yeah. I think it was Morg, Wizard, Bribe, and may have been a Babe or something. But I mean, so the game started pretty terribly for me. It was his drive, pitch invasion. I don't know why. I had about a week or two of games where I just kept having pitch invasions, which were terrible for me. Um, and like half my team got knocked over, couldn't really do anything, and he still decided to score like in 3 turns for some reason against my team with like the whole team on the floor. So that was fine. And then my drive started, and he put his three. So remember, he's got these three beaten up Black Orcs. And he had like the rookie Black Orc miss next game. And one of his Black Orcs had a niggle and was armor 8, and Morg hit it and it exploded and gave it minus move. And I'm not sure if he sacked it since then. But
It also got MVP in that game. Ah,
yeah, he's probably sacked it because it's just riddled with injuries. But my fouling strategy just failed completely. I think my first foul was sent off, bribe, fail, and I went for a push with Brian, and he snaked on a short feet GFI, and then it basically meant I had to use the wizard just to recover the ball and score. Second half, I managed to like stall out for about 6 turns. I think I gave him 3 turns to tie the game, and he survived. He got the ball on a blodge blitzer and survived a 3D hit from Morg and basically scored in turn 16, and it was a draw.
so lucky for him, I guess.
So
Um,
yeah, another game where I think all the draws I've been unlucky to not win this season. Um, but yeah, like I think I said before, the quest for the season is to win one game, which is still looking doubtful at this stage.
I think he's kept the Black Orc because he only had 3 Black Orcs against you, right?
Well, he had one MNG who was a rookie.
Okay, well, he currently has 3 very skilled up Black Orcs and a rookie, so I think he kept
I
the
can't
movement
believe
bust.
he kept it. I
Yeah,
mean, it's armor 8 and an eagle and minus move. I mean, just why would you keep it?
because it's a pain to level things, and he thinks that having 2,400 TV is the best, the best defense against everything else.
Yeah, it's just not there.
No. Anyway, who bet on the draw?
Actually, decent amount of people bet on the draw. 5 people, and they were. Oh, I actually bet on the draw. So Palladius, myself, you bet on the draw.
Yeah, I thought I did.
Javelin and Spider.
Cool. All right. Next game then is I have to do this every time. It's really annoying. Is the Serial Kit Stinkers, Cronky Chops against Sweedo's Undeadliest Cuz 0-0. I'm pretty surprised at this result, frankly. I mean, a draw doesn't surprise me that much, but 0-0 between a relatively big Vamp team and an Undead team, you'd expect someone to have got the edge somehow and gone through.
I wonder if it was one of those games where the ball was on the floor for most of the time and it was kind of back and forth, or whether both teams kind of, managed to protect the ball but just couldn't make any headway.
Maybe so. Like the Vampires have very, very little possession, and Sweedo had 50% possession. So I wonder if Sweedo held onto the ball for 8 turns, then got sacked and couldn't score, and the Vampires couldn't get past Sweedo, but also stopped him from scoring on them. Would be my guess as to how it was 0-0. Vamps lose the leader Thrall, which is sad times for them. Because every reroll is really useful.
Yeah.
And Sweedo gets his Agi up sprint ghoul movement bust. So much for sprint being the. Anyway, sorry.
Well, he now looks like one of my team members, basically.
Yeah. Does sprint count to move up as well as move down? I'm not sure. It's cheaper at least, I guess.
Yeah.
And he leveled up his white, who is also move bust. But anyway, who went for a draw?
5 people went for a draw, so most of the bets were there. Palladius.
Yep.
Carmack. Galentio.
Yep.
You and Spider.
Cool. And me. Okay. I think I did everyone there. Cool. And the next match is... Oops, gone back too far. That's... Lol. The next match is... Ant-Man against Silfwin. Another draw.
Yeah, this one was... Well, I mean, whenever Ant-Man is involved in the draw, it's to be... it's an expected outcome, but I think it was still slightly surprising in this case.
Yeah, Chorfs against Woodies, you'd expect, Woody death or Chorfs getting scored on lots, right? But, 1-1 because it's Ant-Man. Who bet on the draw?
Only 2 people.
Oh.
Spider and Galentio.
Galentio, as always, keeping the draw meme alive. And Spider voting on draws every week, I think. It's not served him so well this season.
I think he just sort of auto clicks draw unless it's very clearly in favor of someone.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good plan, I think, generally. I think draws should be the most likely outcome. Anyway, talking of Spider, last game of the week.
It was actually an admin win. Spider had I think, some personal thing and he couldn't get round to it. So
I think I heard that. Yeah. I think he got called away at the time they'd planned to play, and then they couldn't play later, right? But anyway,
Yeah.
uh,
So doesn't count for the betting.
no betting. And
Okay.
we can't really look at the table because obviously there's another
Yeah.
week that's happened.
Well, we just go straight to week 6 then.
Yep, week 6. I need to change the column I'm on in this, and let's move this on there. How do you do this? There. All right. All right. So the scoreboard has moved along. And I guess the first game of the week is again Kunxian against Swedo this time. Oh, I'm guessing that he did remove a lot of undead because there's a lot of SVP on the Claw Mighty Bow players.
Funny that.
um, Only a dead zombie though, and a agility bust kick zombie.
I mean,
So
maybe Regen did a thing.
yeah, possibly I can actually go back here and have a look. Uh, Yep, he had 7 regen rolls and 5 of them were successes, so that's pretty good. Although I guess probably not. Although losing a bunch of your players on the pitch not a good way to
Yeah.
win a game.
But at least, having a free Apo for 5 times out of 7 is pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Regen is a good. I mean, yeah. I find it weird playing regen teams though. I find the not having to think about whether I'm going to use an Apo really confusing. Every time something gets cast, I'm like, oh my god, do I need to press? Oh no, I don't get to choose. Just roll dice.
I mean, it is one of those skills that it there's a lot of variance. I mean, some games it's just, magical, like your team keeps coming back, and other games it just never works.
Mm-hmm. That's how dice work, isn't it? It's
It
a
is.
50-50. It's the worst kind of variance.
Yeah, funny how we keep playing this bloody game, despite that. But there you go.
I personally think the variance is the reason that got me into Blood Bowl in the first place. Right? It was absolutely wrecking Spider as a pretty shit coach early on, early on in Blood Bowl 2 that really cemented my love for this game. Completely pitch clearing him with just a claw minotaur
Nice.
against a full team of Khemri in res as well, in a res competition. So really made me feel good. Anyway, so who bet on the Bedlam Bucks?
Nearly everyone. Everyone except for one person.
Was that me? I have a feeling I did some.
No, it wasn't you. Only
Oh,
one person went for the draw. So no one actually bet on Sweeto. Palladius had actually gone for the draw.
oh,
And I mean, maybe some people didn't actually bet, but there are 9 bets that went for Conction. So you actually, hang on a second. Oh no, of course, because you actually bet on Sweeto.
yeah. I thought I might have.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
speaking,
So I about this last week. In case anyone's wondering, this might confuse. This might cause Danton to trip up a little bit. But last week, the spike bot was down, so I did it manually, and I emoted where spike bot would have emoted. But I have removed my non votes. So might be a couple of cases. I think there's one game where it's missing the draw or it's missing the away win because no one bet on that, right?
okay.
But in every other case, I think my vote is actually in the correct place now. I removed my non-votes.
So the people got it right. Let me see your screen. So no, you didn't. Braculi. I'm
Yep.
trying to go from top to bottom. Braculi, Javelin,
Yep.
Kinroth,
Mm-hmm.
Berto, Galentio, Carmack, myself and Spider. So I don't see any Ethel bets anywhere.
Oh, maybe he missed last week because he was here.
No,
He
although
ran.
it's weird because the draw emote is showing me two, but it's only showing me Palladius for some reason. So maybe he also bet in a draw.
Let me see what I can see. Do you see what I see? Too many channels. Dead air is terrible, isn't it? You shouldn't ever have dead air. No, I only see one draw. I don't
That
know.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it shows me the number two, unless it's still counting your previous one for some reason,
yeah,
but it's
maybe.
not showing it. I don't know.
I wonder. Oh well, Ethelred might have to. He definitely said his bets last week.
Yeah.
I think. Anyway, all right, fine. So next up is the Captain's Budruck Raiders, the 2,350 TV Orcs this week against Silfwyn, the 1350 Wood Elves, and the Wood Elves won 3-0.
Yeah. Smoothie the Raccoon asks, did he miss the champs recap? No,
No,
we haven't done it yet. We started with 1A because we had missed the previous week of 1A.
yeah, we've changed the order around. We will, to make it a bit fair. We sometimes miss out the end of the last one, one of the divisions. So this week we'll do champs after we've done 1A, and then we'll do 1B. But yeah,
So the Woodies, I mean, it is surprising, but not at the same time.
yeah.
It's the sort of thing that can happen, especially if Woodies don't explode and the wizard works, and the orcs give them shots at the ball.
I mean, there's at least a death and an MNG, or two MNGs here, right? So the
And
orcs caused some
you'd
damage.
expect some. I mean, that you would definitely expect some damage.
Yeah, but the Woodies did also have Eldril, Jordell, and a wizard, so and more. Like they effectively had 1,000 TV worth of inducements, which is just
Yeah,
you almost run out of things to buy, right?
and Eldril with the wizard, is obviously, as long as Eldril doesn't get removed early, then it can be a pretty good way to steal the ball repeatedly.
And Jordell as well, right? Jordell to get the ball wherever it ended up and get it out of there. You're not risking your own players when you're making those Agi 5
Yeah.
dodges and leaps. Um, it can be pretty useful. Although for me, I find he rolls ones at all the worst times. But I guess that's all Blood Bowl, right? So who went for Silfrin for the win?
So actually only two people. Um, Alberto, who is Silfwin, bet on himself,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and Kinroth actually bet on.
Cool. Why is this not in alphabetical order? God damn it. Anyway, I will probably sort that out later. All right. Anything else to say? I mean,
Oh,
the Orcs got loads of SPP for that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Uh, so it's possible. We talked about the Black Orc that I move busted. So he would have been MNG for that game.
yeah,
So he's on the roster now, but it's possible he could basically sack him before this week's game.
it could do. But the fact he's kept his other movement 3, armor 8, Black Orc makes me think that he'll just keep him. Like all his Black Orcs are armor 8 now, right? Except for the new one, I think.
Yeah. But actually, how much treasury does he have?
Oh, that's the point. He's got 80k, which I think is the cost of a new Black Orc.
Yeah, because he's got to be suffering some pretty serious spiraling expenses.
Yeah, he's at the point of spiraling expenses where he literally can't make money. I think, or where no, sorry, if he wins, he gets 10k if he rolls a 6. Right?
So, I mean, that in itself is a reason probably to sack that Black Orc, is just to start earning a little bit more cash.
He's not nope. Firing the Black Orc won't get him.
Well, actually, what is the TV limit where that starts happening?
So it starts. So it's 150 from from 175. It goes. So it starts at 175 and it goes in 150 leaps. So 230 is the point at which you're not earning anything more.
It's the point of no return, is it?
235. No, wait, no, that's not right. No, I'm underestimating. I'm overestimating this. He's actually -5 at the moment, not -6. Sorry, it's 260 when he's actually 2650 is when he will be -6.
Yeah. I don't know. I would sack that Black Orc anyway.
Yeah, Smoothie. There is Clawpom in this division, and the Clawpom got beaten up by this team. So, you know, but there's another Orc team that also. Anyway, yeah. This team is actually pretty bashy, isn't it, Danton? As you'd say so yourself, I'm sure.
The team we just looked at.
This division, I said,
The division, yeah, reasonably bashy. Yeah, it's like at least 5 of the teams are very bashy.
Yeah. Talking of which, the next game is the Heisman Boys against someone else. JJ, yeah. The Chorf team. So talking about Bash, the 2100 Orc team, which is the lower TV Orc team, against the 2000 team, 2000 Chorf team.
Yeah, Chorf's being a very TV efficient team, so if they're over 2000, then that's pretty bloaty.
Yeah, they've got 3 Claw Mighty Blow. One of them's a Claw Pommer. But not a lot of Bash SPP by the looks of it. I guess. Yeah, only 2 Kaz caused by punching things. So not very many removals. But I guess the send off there might have been some fouling.
It's likely with 2 dirty players.
Yeah.
And he probably had a bribe, did he?
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, he will have got 100k of inducement. So yeah, a bribe is very likely. So that sent off is continuing to foul after the bribe has been used. Do you think?
Well, he's got 2 dirty players, so I mean, he may as well.
I was about to check. Oh yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
No, he didn't go for a bribe. He actually got a wizard.
Okay.
So there was a lightning bolt.
Put a little bit of treasury in.
And there's no failed bribe roll.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. I mean, I'm sure he just fouled anyway with 2 dirty players and bench.
Yeah, he's got like 15 players or something, hasn't he? So 14. Anyway, and he leveled up a hobgoblin in that game. Anyway, so who bet on the JJ win? I'm guessing not many.
No, actually, a reasonable amount. 5 people did. So Palladius, Kinroth, Braculi, Galentio, and myself.
Palladius, Kinroth, Broculi. Did I actually give a point to Broculi? I think I did. Galentio, you said, right? And yourself.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And next game. Is this going to be yours? Yes, this is your game against Spider.
God, PTSD reliving this. Yeah, first half. I mean, you saw that Spider put a little bit of a blurb on Discord.
Oh yeah, you did, yeah.
I mean, first half it was just ridiculous. Like, he scored in 3 turns. I made a push to score back, and then rolled Snake Eyes on a GFI to get an assist to blitz through. Basically, so talking about fouling, I had a bribe, wizard, and babe, I think, or something. No, bribe, wizard, and a merc, Lino. And my first foul, stun, and the first foul was a stun for nothing. Then I had a stun, ref called it, bribe used, and then a third foul, which was actually on Snowdrop. Sorry, Snowdrop, Sundrop, was also stun sent off. So 3 fouls that did nothing. But the interesting thing here is that those 3 fouls were my only 3 armor breaks in the entire game.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was hitting skinks every turn, and I just couldn't even stun a skink. And my own players were just exploding left, right, and center. And I think I ended the game with 3 or 4 players.
Yeah.
And I still came close to actually winning it, even despite that, because so I went 2-0 down at halftime,
Mm-hmm.
and then oh yeah, and then actually really interestingly, I had a 1 turn attempt. He gets a perfect defense, right? So I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, this game is just going from bad to worse. And he actually, the way he set up, he still gave me a shot at the 1 turner. I had to do like a 1D blitz, but basically I had enough kind of people to create the chain push,
To
and I
make
managed to,
yeah
yeah, and
to push
I
from the other side of the LOS to where your
yeah,
where your one
yes.
turner is.
So he totally screwed up his perfect defense setup, and I actually managed to score the 1 turner, and then I managed to score in the second half, and I still had the wizard in play. So after like just the most abysmal first half where nothing worked, suddenly I was back in the game.
I mean,
And then I might,
he could have just put the sidestepping skink on the LOS, right?
yeah, yeah, definitely. I think he didn't want to get his skinks hit, but yeah.
Mm.
And then I managed to steal the ball. He rolled a snake eyes to sack it, and I ran away with the ball. And it looked like I was going to go 3-2 up, but then he managed to get his kinks back, 1D the ball, got it back. He then failed the GFI, bounced to another skink who caught it, and I did a 3+ dodge with dodge reroll, because it was away from prehensile tail,
Yeah.
and rolled a 1 in 9, and that was game over basically.
Mm.
So it went from being totally lost to actually I might win this or draw at worst, just to being lost again. But I mean, generally I think my dice were pretty horrific for most of the game. But tis tis the way.
Yeah. No permanent damage though. I mean, like an
Yeah,
agi bust on the
I had,
lineman or something, right?
yeah, but he was already move busted, so I sacked him.
Okay.
He's one of my only 2 tackle pieces, but the team has so much red on it at the moment that
And also a movement 5 agi 2 tackle, maybe not
yeah,
quite as
yeah,
useful to catching up to blodgers as you'd hope.
not not really worth it.
So who went for Spider for the win?
Spider for the win. Uh, 2 people, I think. It was Spider himself and Javelin.
Alrighty. And so I think we're on the last game of the week for
Yeah.
this, which is Crunky Chops versus Ant-Man. Not a draw, sadly. An Ant-Man win, which means I'm expecting a lot of crosses on the vampire side. An MNG'd vampire and a movement bust thrall. But
Not that bad.
it's not too bad. Another MNG'd thrall, but it might affect Crunky Chops next week, but not terrible.
Yeah.
Not a sprite actually for a team playing against AV7 thralls, a team with like 7 mighty blow only got 4 cows SPP. It's not that much, is it?
Yeah. I mean, maybe there were a lot of KOs.
There were two. The Chorfs surfed 2 of the vampire team, which is kind of surprising, and got a send off as well. So I'm guessing there was fouling in there as well.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Who bet on that, man?
Yeah, literally only one person, because I think Vamps generally. I mean, it's one of those matchups where Vamps have a lot in their favor, but the mass tackle can also be problematic.
Yeah, I mean, I Vamps are best against
Yeah.
Slow bash teams and Chorfs are pretty much one of the archetypal slow bash teams, right?
Yeah, but it's just the fact they have so much tackle, coupled with the mobility
Mm.
of the centaurs, that it's not so clear cut. But yeah, only Carmack actually bet on the Chorfs.
Oh. All right, which means we're on to the coming week, I guess, right?
So I guess we can look at the table now.
Oh yes, should we look at the table in game? JJ, 2 points ahead of Cuxian. Ant-Man, a point behind them.
Carmack, who is lurking in the chat,
Ah.
says because he's fucking smart.
And Blood Bowl is definitely predictable, and in no way was that lucky rather than
No. And he's obviously getting all the bets right? Because he's so fucking smart.
Yeah, obviously that's why he's doing all right. In fact,
He's not doing badly. He's in second place.
yeah, they're third, but yeah,
Third? Oh yeah, Kinroth is in first, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah.
And generally people do better in their own division, so he's not got his own division's worth of points yet. So we'll see how he does in champs before we go being too judgy. But yeah, I mean, Blood Bowl is essentially about trying to prove how smart you are, right? So if I bet myself every game like I should, I would be top. But I always found a tie. Yeah, it's true.
So doesn't that mean you're stupid instead of smart?
It means you can be smart but have terrible self-awareness, right?
You could be smart and stupid at the same time.
It's lack of self-awareness. That's the problem. Or
lack of self-belief.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, self-belief. Too much self-belief can be bad too, right? But anyway, all right.
Exactly. He could be Kinroth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, from one extreme to the other. What week are we on? We're on week 6. 7. So there's 3 more weeks to go. So we're 2/3 of the way through the season, right? I would guess that you and Lehman are not promoting this season then.
I mean, yeah, I already said the quest for one win is, I'll be satisfied if I can win one of the last 3 games, but it's not looking likely at the moment. The team is just too beaten up.
Carmack says, I do not want to project arrogance, says the man who just says he's fucking smart. You're allowed to be arrogant when it's funny, which worked pretty well, I think. Anyway, yeah. But quite a lot to play for at the top, and you could still not get demoted.
The Bash team. I mean, with the state of my team, it's very likely I'm just gonna sit out. Next season, and I mean, who knows with Blood Bowl 3 coming out, what OCC is going to be doing moving on. But yeah, I just don't think it's worth carrying on with this team. I mean, I think you're in a similar situation with your Norse, aren't you?
Well, yeah. The one reason for me to carry on with my Norse was basically the Yeti, which got niggled. But actually, I'm kind of it turns out the Strength 5 Blodge not too bad at dealing with being niggled. I'm slightly worried because people do target her, and the niggle means obviously she will leave.
Yeah.
When she gets targeted.
If she gets fouled.
Yeah. Well, basically when she's standing, she's still quite pretty good. So I think I just got to keep her really. But yeah, I mean, there's 3 weeks to go of the season and 2 weeks to change over, and I think that's essentially when Blood Bowl 3 comes out, right? So.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm already playing in a few other Blood Bowl 2 leagues, so I just think it's probably a good time to drop this team.
See, and you're gonna maybe rejoin OCC when it moves over to Blood Bowl 3. I've actually been cutting down on my leagues quite a lot. OCC and OFL and SFL are pretty much my only remaining leagues at the moment.
Yeah. Well, there's also Pony and
yeah, that's true.
RPS, right?
Yeah. I'm in those as well, of course.
But yeah, I mean, the only reason for me to carry on would be basically to try and get Brian to like an all-time touchdown record, which he's actually the player with the most touchdowns that's living. Um, but I'm not sure actually if there was ever a player in the OCC before who scored more touchdowns than he has.
Yeah, if there
I
was
think,
another natty that maybe,
well, yeah, I mean, obviously he's no longer a natty, but yeah.
yeah, ex natty,
What is he? How many has he scored? He's pretty close
90,
to 90.
90 dead on.
90 dead on. Yeah. Be nice to get him over the 100, but you know, I think he's done pretty much everything I could ask of him.
Yeah. 3,600 yards rushing. Which is
I mean, there are definitely players who have rushed more than that, but I think you'd be hard to find a player who scored more than 90 touchdowns.
oh yeah, yeah. Is that I was thinking that was with the ball, but obviously it's just ball movement, I think. Anyway, all right. So, coming weeks, yeah. So first game of the week is the Infernal Demon Smiths against Better Than Bucks. So, that's Ant-Man, right?
The rushing stat is definitely with the ball.
It's
not
with the
gonna count.
ball. Okay.
It's not going to count movement that's not with the ball.
So both your catches are actually around the 3,000 and something mark.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. So anyway, Ant-Man against who did I say? Oh, Cuxian, of course. So Cuxian's TV's somewhat going down as the season progresses. It seems.
Well,
Ant-Man's
he did lose quite a few players against the big orcs,
yeah.
and yeah, I mean, you know, thankfully, because his team was ridiculous. I played his team in match day 1, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's now only got 5 claw mighty blow, and one of them's a claw pommer.
Yeah, this is the sort of team that Carmack wished he had, you know, because he's obviously such a banger.
Yeah, this is. Well, I mean, this is pretty much the zenith of any coaches. What any chaos coach wants, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, well, it was. I mean, he had a Mino before, which you know is probably beyond the zenith, as it were.
I mean,
Um,
the idea of the Mino is that you're already usually the high TV team, and getting more high TV is usually an improvement. And I kind of like that as an idea, but in this division, it's not proved the case, has it?
No, but I think the team is a lot better now that the Mino's gone.
It's definitely more,
I mean, you could
TV
do with
efficient.
some more bench, maybe. You know, a few rookie goats just to throw on the line. But other than that, I mean,
Yeah,
the team is.
it's currently 10 players, so he's actually gets one loner as well as what you can see on the screen here.
I mean, you know, I'd even be tempted to get 2 rookie goats, potentially. I
Can't afford it.
mean, I guess we need to look at the TV difference with Ant-Man.
Yeah, so at the moment he's on 1930 and Ant-Man is 2070. That's with the loner, right? So so there's 140 TV between them. But buying 2 goats would actually make their 80 TV difference.
So how many players does Ant-Man have?
Oh, he's got 14. I do agree. I think I like having 12 players a lot. I think it's worth spending that money on getting to a bench, which he does have.
It also means you're putting players on the line that you don't care about.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do that, then he's got to put his like guard goats on the line or warriors.
Yeah. And against a team with as I mentioned before, what's that? 6 mighty blow?
Yeah,
7 mighty blow. 7 mighty blow.
Still a lot of mighty blow.
Yeah. Which and Chaos are an AV8 team. They're not that adept at dealing with being punched as much as they can do damage the other way around, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey Rochelle, how are you? L plates high. Interesting. He needs to get some animated. That needs to be animated. That would be really good if the tail was wagging. Anyway, sorry. So who do you think's going to win though? I think even if he bought that bench, I would still rather be playing as Ant-Man's team, right?
Yeah, I would rather be Ant-Man's team here. Um, but it's Ant-Man, so I'm going for a draw.
Yeah, the majority have gone for a draw, and I originally went for Cuxian without before I looked at the teams. But I think for this, I'm actually going to go for I'm going to go for Ant-Man winning this.
It
Because
might come down.
I don't think Cuxian will buy a
Yeah.
bench, and I do think that will cost him.
I mean, it could be one of those games where it depends on who wins the toss, because the first team to go just could end up doing too much damage for the other team to recover from.
I mean, Ant-Man at least has a bunch of hobgoblins that he can put in the
Yeah.
way of the Claw Mighty, right? So he doesn't really care about the Claw, at least for the. So I mean, sorry. If Cuxian wins the toss, I don't think it's that big of an advantage for him. I
I mean,
guess
it all
it's
depends.
just
If he starts chipping Chorfs,
yeah.
then obviously it becomes a big deal.
But Ant-Man's not going to put Chorfs on the LOS or second line, is he? Is he going to do Protect 5?
I
And
mean, you can't protect all the Chorfs though. You have to have at least one or two Chorfs blitzable.
hmm.
Otherwise, you're exposing the bull centaurs, which you're not going to do that either.
Or you're choosing to bench something. Actually, that's the point. Yeah, he's probably benching his ball carrier, right?
Yeah, the bull carrier, which I AV busted, but he's still there.
He's been there for ages, hasn't he? He's been AV bust for ages as well.
Well, I AV busted him, and I think that was this season when I played him in match day 2. I'm pretty sure I AV busted him then.
Yeah. And hey, yeah. Getting his own ha thinking mode. I mean, or just get what's it called? 7TV. But anyway. All right. Next game is Cronky Chops' Vampires against Spider. Ooh. Has Spider said before that he has problems with vampires? I forget.
I mean, he's definitely played against Kielstad's Vamps a few times,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to remember what happened in those games. But I think they weren't that one-sided. The lizards obviously they have a lot of speed, which can be good against the vamps as well.
Yeah, the
But
Vamps coming into this game with only 12 players as well, which for vampires is not really
yeah,
enough.
they still have plenty of tackle though.
No, yeah, and some movement. So,
I Yeah, I'm
oh
going with
no.
the vamps. I think the vamps naturally are pretty decent against lizards, but yeah, obviously.
As you said, lizards though aren't that slow a team, and I think the speed, and I think also Spider doesn't play them as a slow team. He plays them. He plays pretty spread out, which he doesn't like. He's not built a guard heavy stand all the strength players together lizard team. He's built a team that has a lot of dodge and break tackle, and
I
they
mean,
do
he's
things. So.
very aggressive with his skinks, which obviously, if the skinks just are made of titanium, then it's a good strategy. But when the skinks start going pop, then it's less good.
The Wizards do have 300 TV inducements as well. Um,
The vamps.
the Vamps, sorry. Did I say did I say lizards or wizards? Oh no. Anyway, yeah. Um, so the Vamps get a wizard and I guess Igor.
I guess so.
Hmm. I've gone for Spider in this. I actually appear to be in the minority though. Me and
Well,
Spider being the only two people that think Spider will win this.
I mean, it's definitely it's not a one-sided scenario. I mean, the lizards definitely have decent chances, but I don't know. I'd lean towards the vamps.
Cool. All right. And only one person's gone for a draw, and that is Carmack. Next is your.
Because he's so fucking smart.
Well, we'll see next week, won't we? All right. So next is your game against Hatricola. So
This has just got massacre written all over it.
So you're at home. Do you have? You don't have a stadium or anything like that, do
I
you?
I have
Oh,
the
boring, pixel hugging one.
squig sandwich
Yeah.
one, yeah, which to be honest, I think it even denied me a bribe recently where I badly needed a bribe. I was like, fucking stadium. Um,
I mean, this is
but
the thing. I way prefer the Wizard Stadium because the effect is. I used to hate the idea at the beginning when I first heard about stadiums. I thought the attrition of getting wizarded regularly would be bad, but just being better with wizards again, knowing that you're above average with wizards, I think means that you should get the wizard stadium. And
I
I
mean,
think your human team has a lot of a agi 4, and you have a lot of knowledge about how to play with and around a wizard, and I think that.
yeah, but if I play against an elf team, then having that wizard stadium, I think just it benefits them more than me.
Mm, yeah, I guess you're relatively low TV as well, aren't you? Anyway, 2,300 shorts. This team
No,
only have
2030, not
2,030.
330.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah. This Chorf team only has 6 mighty blow.
Yeah,
But 3 of them have claw.
three, three claw and one palm.
Yeah, 1 claw per month. But
I mean,
they're still
yeah.
slow compared to your human team at least, right?
Well, I mean, the bull centaurs obviously make up for that to a certain degree. One of them is also frenzy tackle, so he can kind of chase down catchers and stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my team is basically on its last legs. So what am I getting? I'm getting around just under 400, is it?
Yeah, yeah. 380.
Yeah, so, again, it's probably the typical wizard bribe kind of mark scenario.
Yeah.
Similar to what I had against Spider.
Yeah. Wizard,
But yeah,
bribe, and babe, or now you've got 30k more, it's a merc instead, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't have. I mean, I've actually gone for a draw. I don't have high hopes. I'm still trying to win a game this season. So we'll see.
Okay, well, I am one of your fans on this one, and I'm going for you. Me and Javelin both going for you, and only Palladius going for JJ, and everyone else going for a draw. So, draw is definitely
Draw
plausible.
is so yeah, draw is quite likely. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, indeed. All right, and then no. So then we've got Lehman Russ against Silfwin, a 2,110 orc team that look like this. Ooh, I didn't notice that the thrower, who's called Huel. I wonder if that's a Dionysian reference. Is coloured.
Most
Coloured.
most likely.
Um, I don't know who the other Heisman boys are though.
So this, I mean, in the big difference between this and the other orc team, obviously, is that there's less kind of red on this team and less bloat.
I mean, there's a niggled black orc. There's an agi bust. Who cares about that? And there's a move bust on a jump up player, which is kind of irritating, but not terrible. But yeah, it's pretty. It's a pretty.
Doesn't have as much tackle as the other orc team does, but he does have that killer with frenzy and palm,
Mhm.
and jump up. So that killer can still do a lot of damage to you
Elves.
know to elves in general. I mean, especially because Berto is going to have a lot of loner linemen, like he has for most of the season, so that can just chew up loners.
Yeah.
But with the frenzy, I mean, he can obviously still have a decent chance to take down a blodger.
So Silfwin actually has 5 players. He does have an agi up catcher, which is pretty sweet for getting past the orcs. Still the same dances he's had for ages, and that
Yeah.
catcher's been around for a while as well.
So he could go for something similar with Eldril. Don't know if he can fit Eldril and Jordel with the wizard this time.
So he's got what? So he's got 6 loners to come. and 6 times 7 is 420. So his TV is actually 1,610, or so he's 1,600. So he has got exactly 500 at the moment TV of inducements.
Eldril Wizard is 350,
Yeah,
and then you could go maybe like Babe Apo or something like that.
yeah, or even a loner,
Yeah.
a Merc lineman for another 1,000. Get a bit more bench.
Hmm.
Guess against Orcs, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, the Orcs are definitely going to be able to remove Mercs. The trouble is they don't have that much damage potential with tackle, do they? Especially, catching. Like, I think the two tackle players, are they both Black Hawk? No, one was a Blitzer and one was a Black Hawk, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so one of their tackles is Black Hawk, so you got to assume that Silfin can keep his blodgers away from that a little bit. And then one movement up, agi up, Jesse Pinkman, who is isn't he the guy out of Breaking Bad? Isn't that Jesse out of Breaking Bad?
He
And
you know
there's Mr. White as well.
it's a good yeah, Heisenberg Boys is that's a reference to Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah,
Um so I mean that Jesse Pinkman is obviously a very good piece against elves because it's very mobile.
yeah, for an orc,
Yeah.
but yeah.
It's basically like a Dark Elf Blitzer with armor up.
Well, yeah, it's 220 TV worth of movement busted war dancer with tackle and mighty blow.
But I prefer to see it as a Dark Elf Blitzer with an armor up.
Yeah,
Dodge and a mighty blow, so one double.
but yeah, but facing wood elves, it's funnier to compare them to wood elves, isn't it? I would guess. It's weirdly split. No one's going for a draw on this. I've gone for the wood elves. I think.
I've gone for the Orcs this time because I think that Silfwin. I didn't see his game against the Captain Badrock's Raiders, but for him to win 3-0, I mean, it sounds like one of those games where just everything went his way, or the critical moments at least. And maybe he's due a game where it doesn't quite work out as well.
The old what's it called, gambler's fallacy, but of the current bet being affected by the last bet.
Mm.
But yeah, I think wood elves have
50%
better.
of the time, it's right every time, isn't it?
Yeah, well, basically, it's interesting that no one's gone for a draw. So clearly, it's gonna go one. People think it's gonna go one way or the other, and it's a question of whether you think the bash is gonna work or the scoring is gonna work. And I'm sorry to say this, but I think generally, wood elves scoring lots of touchdowns tends to be a more likely prospect than loads of removals. Or enough removals for the Orcs to win Imho. Anyway, so the last game is Excalibur's Captain Budrock Raiders, the enormous Orcs team, against Swedo's Undeadliest Scars. The poor, beleaguered undead team, relatively speaking. So, as meant, yeah. So you said he still kept it. Which one? It's the grab one, isn't it? Which I mean, basically, the only difference between this and the other one is the niggle, right?
Yeah.
And
But,
it hasn't got a double. The other one has got a double, I think.
I mean, the niggle with AV8 though is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's funny. AV9 coaches. You tend to think. I don't know if Excalibur plays a lot of things other than Orcs, but I think I've only seen him play Orcs, and I think you do get into a mindset with a team, and the Orky mindset is I've got AV9, I don't care.
You don't anymore.
Yeah. It's easy
And
to not add the two things together, right?
he puts these Black Orcs on the line as well, or he did against me at least.
Yeah. Well, that would also explain why they are so beaten up.
Yeah. You see, because his three line orcs are basically kind of like pseudo positionals, because they're so leveled up.
Yeah.
So that's why his worst pieces are actually his black orcs. Um, I mean, he could put the troll on the line. It's a hell of a good troll. But he's obviously hesitant to do that because the troll is so good.
It is it's always good when you look at a big guy and his skills go off the normal page, so you have to actually click on him to see what he has. He went for grab
Surprised.
before stand firm, which I think
Yeah,
is the long way around, but
yeah,
fine.
that's definitely not the right order. He should have taken them in. But I mean, he got to stand firm in the end, and it's just an amazing piece
Yeah,
when it doesn't go stupid.
yeah. Well, and LOS is a chance for it is not affected by going stupid, right? You could easily put that troll with the other two stand firm black orcs on the LOS, and that would be pretty scary for almost any team, right? If you're trying to take your punches, and you just get pushes, you're in a bit of trouble. Anyway, all right. Wait, so have we done them yet? Against Swedo, uh, who is 700 TV down, but is still on 1880 or 650 down. I
I
thought
wonder.
Swedo's team got a bit beaten up, but actually doesn't look too bad.
I wonder if we're gonna see Ramtut.
Do you think Ramtut's a good idea against this Hawk team?
I mean, so how much did we say he's getting? Six
He's,
hundred or something.
yeah, 650.
So I don't see why not for that money. You could get Ramtut and Setek,
I mean, you'd like a wizard, wouldn't you?
possibly. Um, so how much is Ramtut? Is
He's
300 or something?
330.
330 and Setek is 220.
Yeah, I guess you could get a wizard as well as that if you spend a bit of your own money.
Yeah.
Gives you quite a lot more strength. Three strength 5.
Or instead of, I mean,
Mm.
you could take Cheney, couldn't you, as undead? Or is he available to undead?
He's not available to undead. He's only
Oh,
necro and
okay. Oh, he's only Necro and Norse, is he?
yeah, only the werewolf teams, or the were teams, I guess. As I think all four are
Yeah.
supposed to be werebears.
But in Blood Bowl, I think he can play for them in Blood Bowl 3.
Yeah, because it's basically all undead. As
Sylvanian Spotlight is
yeah,
like all
exactly.
undead. Yeah.
Oh, well, talking of which, what about Count Luther? More strength 5, gaze, block sidestep.
But he's AV8, isn't he? So he's a little bit more vulnerable.
Is he AVA? I'm not sure actually. I can check pretty quickly, I think. He is in fact AV9, as I thought. Yeah.
Or is he AV9? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if he's AV9, then yeah, probably he's a better choice.
Move a bit more movement as well. Still strength 5, and hypno means you can be pretty threatening with him.
And what's his cost?
390.
Oh, so he's more expensive.
Yeah, so that would leave you with just a wizard and a bribe.
Yeah.
So
Interesting. I mean, I don't hate Ramtut though in this matchup because he helps to deal with a lot of that orc strength.
I mean, he just stands there and gets punched a lot, doesn't he? Like the
Well,
orcs.
I mean, he's gonna be hitting back a lot though.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean.
Oh, and Ramtut's 380, not 330. Sorry, I misremembered his price.
Okay.
But still plausible to have Ramtut, Setek, and a wizard if Sweeto's willing to spend a bit of money. And he's got a lot of money. And I don't see many other choices as being that favourable. Like even bribes, you've got to get the orcs down and kind of segregated enough away to foul them, right? And I don't see that happening with much likelihood. Oh, I have gone for a draw. And I say ooh because I'm surprised at how many other people have gone for a draw. And no one has gone for Swedo yet.
Yeah, I've gone for a draw. Me, it's typical game where like a 1-1 where both teams kind of manage to score on their drive, but nothing else.
Okay. I mean, for such a high TV Orc team, they're not doing that well. I mean, this Sweeto is an entire win ahead of them at the moment,
Yeah.
which at this point in the season is kind of a
I
lot.
think, I mean, from having played him, I think maybe he's, the team is not optimal for the TV that it has. He's got amazing blitzers, amazing troll, some really good linemen. The weak link of the team is the Black Orcs, and normally an Orc team with that high a TV, the Black Orcs should be like part of the core strength of the team. And I think just his positioning, he's not as aggressive with his marking maybe as he could be with a team like this. So yeah, maybe he's just slightly lacking in terms of positional awareness sometimes for the moments when he should be pressuring other teams.
Yeah. All right. That's 1A done, right? We spent a long time on 1A. Going to go champs now, I guess. So moving over to let me get Spike in the right place. Moving over to the. Apparently, I've got a new graphics driver. Woo. No, okay. I thought there was a pause on my computer, and I thought that meant I was dropping frames or something. But no, it was all fine. Just my own thingy. Oh, go champs! Says Smoothie the Raccoon. Is Smoothie the Raccoon one of the coaches in? Wait, are you Kinroth or something? Nah. Is Kinroth Kinroth?
If he was Kinroth, we would know by now.
Yeah, true. Fair point. Yes, says Smoothie the Raccoon. I am Iltanir. Okay, there we go.
Yes, as in he is in champs.
Yes,
but
not
no, he's not Kinroth.
No, he's not. No.
We figured out you weren't Kinroth because Kinroth is pretty unmistakable.
Yeah, Kinroth is Kinroth, indeed. Although he's not very Kinrothy at the moment, but whatever. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna
maybe he's cut down on the microdosing.
All right, so we're gonna have a look at the first game of week 6 for champs. Was Dalibor against Palladius, the Dark Elf off, right? I'm getting that correct, yeah?
Yeah, this was a big 6-pointer. Remember, I think we talked about.
Yeah.
If Dalibor won it, then it got him right into contention, and if Palladius won it, then it kind of cemented his position at the top.
Well, I mean, I think this win does mean that he's like 3 points ahead of everyone, whereas I think everyone else is a pretty close chasing group behind them.
Well, he's definitely either top or equal top.
He is top. He's top by 3 points, I think. Yeah. I wouldn't say escaping yet, but yeah, it is. It is.
So, I mean, just by looking at that graphic, I mean, all of the green is on his side, right? So it looked like it was a very one-sided affair.
I mean, yes. I mean, actually, but this. I mean, this is a graphic. This is sent off. This line here. So I don't know if that's not a good thing. That should be red. That should be a bad thing, shouldn't it?
How many send-offs? 4.
One send-off for Palladius,
right.
None for Dalibor.
Yeah. I mean, one send-off is fine.
And I guess it depends. You can read a lot into that, right?
Yeah. No, I'm just going off like initial kind of impression.
Yeah. And also, there's some passing and catching going on here, but I think that might have just been vanity passing. There's one SPP on a blitzer that got him a level, and there's another SPP on the witch elf that got her a level. And one SPP on the Mighty Blow blitzer, which it's funny that that's the only way the Mighty Blow got a level. But yeah, the possession is obviously the big thing here. It looks like Palladius had all the possession. I'm guessing this means I mean, both coaches love their 8-turn drives, so obviously 50% of that is just Fladius doing his
Was
drive.
there a wizard?
I'm wondering if actually there might have been a wizard. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if there was a wizard, then that could help to explain
I was gonna
how,
say, was it a blitz, kickoff event or something?
yeah,
But there
that would
was in fact a
explain.
fireball.
Yeah. So
Um,
that's probably how Dalibor's drive fell apart.
yeah. Oh, there was also a bribe. No, so they must have got a bribe in. Yeah, they both got a bribe in a kickoff event, and there was a wizard.
And the bribe succeeded for
Both sides.
Fellinius. Yeah, but Fellinius also had a player sent off, so he fouled at least twice.
Yeah. Um. Hmm. Yeah, it looks like Flea just had a lot less players KO'd as well. So I'm guessing, like he got a numbers advantage through removals of more than just bashing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So betting wise, 3 people actually went for Fellinius. They were Fellinius himself,
Ooh.
Braculi, and Carmack.
Cool. All right. I guess we should no permanent damage, a bunch of levels, but
No, but a big result in terms of the table.
yeah. I mean, we're getting to the point now where every week there's going to be a big result in terms of the table, right? Anytime someone gets, Philadius probably will drop some points in the last 3 weeks, and
No, I mean sure, but like if this had been a draw, then it wouldn't have impacted.
yeah, true, yeah, fair point.
Yeah, this was a real to me this torpedo Dalibor's chances in a big way, and it's really cemented Falladius.
Yeah, of course. So 6-pointer for them. Okay, next, Ilthnir can tell us what he thinks of this game. He beat Javelin 3-1. Admittedly, while 400's TV up, as Wood Elves.
I think we discussed. I mean, in the betting, like nearly everyone went for Ilthnir just because the Necro team they lost their legend Wolf and they're
Oh yeah,
clearly kind of in a bad state at the moment.
cool. Oh yes, to the point when no one went for a draw, and 3 people did go for Javelin, but the vast majority of people did go for Ilthnir. I guess also having a natty helps. I'm surprised no one went for the draw though.
Ilthnir's team is just in a it's in a very good state, and Javelin's is not, and obviously the dice probably didn't help either.
Oh yeah, this Javelin's team is only has one special role on the team now. He has a guard ghoul. Everything else is normals, which is kind of a bit bad for Necro, who really do need a double on a wolf.
Plus,
really,
they've got like a rookie white, rookie flesh golem, and only one wolf now.
Yeah. But they did have Cheney. Cheney's awesome, but probably against Wood Elves, not really that good.
Against Wood Elves, he's not that great. His claw is pretty useless. His wrestle is a bit meh.
And Smoother Raccoon says, it was a dicing, plain and simple. Rolled a blitz. My opponent couldn't roll 3+ to save his life. I think the tree got 3 Kaz. So yes, which gives it a 2nd level. So I'm assuming that'll be guard now.
Guard, or did it roll anything interesting?
Maybe a block, hopefully. But yeah, some level ups here, that's for sure.
So, do you want to hear who bet on Ilthnir?
Yeah, go on then. Give me the list.
So yeah, it's quite long. Falladius.
Yep.
Yourself.
Yep.
Braculi.
Yep.
Kinroth.
I thought for a second we were going to say Javelin.
No, he bet on himself. Berto.
Yep.
Galentio.
Europe. Not Ethel, because I thought Ethel was one of the ones who who bet
Yeah,
for Javelin.
yeah, he did. Carmack,
Yep.
myself,
Yep.
and not Spider. Spider also went for Javelin.
Ah. And yeah, and Smoothie says, yeah, yes, it will be guard, giving away that it was just normal.
Yeah.
Cool. So next is Kinroth.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll look at the table in a minute, but yeah, Iltanir is definitely still in the race.
I mean, he's second, right? I think he's 3
Yeah.
points behind. But I have just shown the table as I flick through Spike to get to the next game report.
Yeah.
But
And I mean, this is another huge result because Kinroth was very much in the running. And losing to Carmack, I mean, he's still in with us with a shot, but this is a bit of a setback for him.
oh yeah, I think Carmack's still in with the shot as well, right?
Carmack has clawed his way, no pun intended, back into it. I think.
That sounded very much like it was intended from the pause. But anyway, um, there was also one less guard on Kinroth's team, and I did speak to Carmack on Discord a little bit about this, and he did say that he thought Kinroth's what maybe wasn't as invested in Blood Bowl 2 at the moment. You know, maybe he's tired of this team and not playing as at his best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, basically, like once you're one game ahead, it's always yours to lose. Although dice, a draw is the most likely event, right? So you can still drop points.
I mean, being in the lead, it has its psychological challenges too, right? Because suddenly it's like you can have these doubts come into your mind about it's now it's only me who can blow it, if you know what I mean.
But yeah, I think Carmack said he felt pretty comfortable in this one. Kinroth. Oh yeah, he said something about Kinroth plays his team in a particular way, and that particular way doesn't work against Carmack's team.
Well, he tries to. I think he definitely tries to use his guard to outbash a lot of teams, and yeah, trying to outbash Carmack's team maybe didn't work.
Well, Galentio, however much you're betting this round has sucked, you can rest assured that Ethel has been doing but worse. You got 3 points and Ethel's got none, so don't worry. Gimlick scored a 17% one-turner for the draw last week. Those 2 points are going to be missed by the end of the season. Yeah. Okay, it's the late night crew are all saying hello to each other. Yeah. So who bet on Carmack?
Actually, a fair amount of people did. You did.
Yep, I know I did.
Javelin, Broccoli, Ethel, and Spider.
Ah, Ethel got a point. Boo, Ethel. All right, and I'm going to try and see if we can manage to fit in 1B as well. So let's move swiftly on. And the Silver Lords of Atmar against Bats of Black. Blah, 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 blah. Words. Oh, so Gimlick won 3-0. All the touchdowns on one catcher, getting 10 SPP on 10 SPP. He must have made a pass as well. And looks like he caused some damage, so he's got some Kaz SPP, I would guess. Wait, is that an interception as well? Was there an interception? No, I don't see an interception. No perms on Killsad's team, although not very many players for a vampire team.
He still kept his move 4 vamp,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
as I said, from a practice game I had with Carmack where I was Killstad, the movement for vamp is still a powerful piece.
Yeah, against Chaos, but not so much against High Elves.
Yeah, against high elves, it's terrible. Like the thing is with vamps, right? They're individually strong enough to hold down their own section of the pitch, and he just inhabits the middle of the pitch, right? So you've got the other four vampires going off in the other corners of the pitch, depending on what they need to cover, and he can still be an annoying presence around the LOS.
Yeah, but clearly, he couldn't cover enough ground
No.
this time around.
Um,
But so betting wise, like nearly everyone went for the High Elves because I think it was just pretty clear they had the big matchup advantage.
yeah.
Um, so the people who got it right were Braculi,
Yup.
Galentio,
Yup.
Kinroth,
Yup.
Javelin, Berto,
Yep. Yep.
myself, Ethel, and Spider.
Ethel getting another point. Damn him. Okay.
Both you and Cormac went for the Vamps
Because we're crazy like that.
because you're both smart.
Yeah. Exactly. There might have been a logical reason for that, but I don't know what it was. And yeah, the movement 4 is a meme at this point, and he's never firing him.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, I guess it's either going to be his last season or pretty close to his last season, so he's probably just wants to see the team out.
Yeah. Okay. Next game is the last game of the week, which is Brilliant Green, coached by the Russian Papa Nasty, against BB3 delayed until 2023, which is correct. Balls to the Waller. 1-0 to the fairly big Orc team, although not as big as the Orc teams in Tier 1.
It used to be a bigger org team, and it got cut down to size.
We have some deaths, though. One of the Orc blitzers, Blodge, stand firm, tackle, guard, mighty blow. That is
the big one.
That is a big one, yeah, indeed. But so a slightly Pyrrhic victory, maybe.
Yeah, and the team is just gradually. I mean, that's what happens up at the champs in Tier 1. Teams like this, they just start to gradually fall apart.
Yeah, and Balls just losing a dirty player wrestle rotter called No Redraft.
Yeah.
I like the fact his naming system must be changing over as more information is found out, because one of his rotters is called Season Pass, which I'm sure was something we weren't aware of until fairly recently.
I'd say he's probably quite new.
Yeah. Terrible UI, ugliest game I've ever seen. Are still his Warriors, though.
Nice.
And Beer Cannons is one of his Pestigores.
Yeah. Although the beer cannons now, the last time we saw them, they were showering the crowd and not the pitch, weren't they?
Yeah, that'll definitely be an improvement. I think they worked on them quite a bit. So they looked like some kind of weird flamethrower the first time they showed them, right? But yeah,
it says a lot. It says a lot when they're spending a lot of time working on the beer cannons instead of actually fixing the game.
I mean, it's still UI, right? It's still a visual thing that was pretty irritating to watch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you hope they got rid of the nuclear fog in game for BB3, and yet they still have the weather dome, which a lot of coaches really don't like in Blood Bowl 2. So and the Wheel of Shit Controls, I think, is my favourite named Pestigore. But anyway, there we go. Wait, who bet on Papa Nasty to win this one?
Actually, like nearly everyone went for a draw here, and 2 people went for him, Javelin and Kinroth. And you were the only one who actually went for balls.
Javelin and Kinroth. Okay. Oops. Failed to type. There we go. All right. And then well, that was the last game of the season. Hey, I'd
The
like to
last
point
game.
out I've never said I was smart on this stream, at least. I don't think. Maybe I have.
No, that was just Carmack.
That was just Carmack. Before you were lumping me in with him earlier. Carmack is still third, although he's less third than he was before. If that makes sense.
Nice.
He's dropped a few points behind second. All right, so coming weeks, yeah, coming week even in champs.
Well, table. Some quick look.
Okay, let's look at the table. Yeah, so as mentioned, Fellinius is actually 2 points ahead of Iltanir, not 3 as I said earlier. Well, Iltanir and Carmack, who are on the same points, in fact. So as I said, Carmack's up there too. Maybe we could gauge how well coaches are doing by how much they're in our chat, because I noticed that both Iltanir and Carmack are here. I don't know if Fellinius is even on Twitch, but I wonder if they'd be as vocal in chat if they were doing worse. And you know, Spider's not been around for ages. Anyway, Kinroth, for someone who Carmack said was, you know, not really in it, is he doesn't really have his head in Blood Bowl 2 at the moment. Is doing pretty well, right?
Well, he's on 10 points, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, 5 points behind Palladius. He needs Palladius to drop points in at least 2 games.
Well, both the high odds in that position, but you know, that's 4 teams that are pretty well positioned should Palladius drop any points, right? You know, one of them could easily be catching up by the end of the season. I think below that point, obviously they're out of contention, aren't they?
Yeah.
There's almost no chance. But there's you know, below that, those bottom 5 teams are actually all fighting to not be double relegated, right? Because they're all pretty close, 3 points, and then 5 points for everyone.
Well, I mean, literally, everyone from 6th place down, they cannot come first, mathematically.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yes, you're right. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah, they're 1 point off. Without you eat whatever the schedule is. Talking of the schedule, this week Palladius has vampires. Kilstad's bats are back. There's a lot of people betting for Palladius, but they are a slow, bashy team despite being elves.
I mean, they're pretty good against Vamps, but I'm going with the Vamps this time, I think, because again, there is the, you know, part of me that wants the Vamps to win to make the race a bit more exciting. But I definitely think Kielstad's team has the tools to cause Palladius some problems.
Ooh, and this is the point where Kielstad has the money to buy a Vamp, or possibly replace the Movement 4 Vamp, one or the other. Well, but you know, yeah. I actually, before looking at teams, did bet on Palladius, but I'm going to change my bet and pick Kielstad. I maybe partly because I want him to win.
So Palladius is going to get some inducements, right?
100, well, 80k. Wait, how many level ups has he got? He's got 2 level ups, so 60k of inducements.
But he's got some cash.
Yes, he does have enough to bump it up to a wizard if he was feeling like that. I'm not sure it's safe at this level to do that. Would you spend 90k on a wizard? Scumming a wizard is possible, but it's a lot of money.
I mean, if he was just all in to try and win champs, then, you know, there's an argument for it.
Okay, and it is worth pointing out that if Kielstad replaces Mr. Clean, the Movement 4 vampire, with a fresh vampire, Kielstad gets the inducements.
Yeah.
Which I think would help him a lot, right?
I mean, knowing Kielstad, he'll just buy another vampire and give him even more inducements.
Yeah, that is also a possibility. That would put him up to 12 players as well, which I think is also an important thing, right?
Mm.
Maybe I should. I'm going to go for a draw. Actually, I'm not going to go for Killstad. I do think Flatus probably wins though, but I'm just I want it to be
Yeah.
less than 3 points to keep things exciting. All right. So next is Balls to the Waller against Carmack. Balls is down to 1620 TV because he's missing his beast.
Oh, his beast got MNG, did it?
Yeah. And only 11 players for this game. So only 1620. So I'm pretty sure that means Balls is getting the inducements, right? And his dirty player is also missing. So no dirty player is probably good news for Carmack. Although he could always induce one, right?
Yeah.
Against Carmack, who's 1830, but also has 10 players. So is actually on 1890. Cheers, Glentio. See you later.
Yeah.
Carmack says blessed Papa Nasty, who I assume is who was Balls' last opponent, as we just mentioned it back.
He was.
But that does mean the Nurgle are getting what 370 TV of inducements.
But what are they spending that on?
Sorry, 270, 270. Well, a dirty player roster and two bribes is a possibility.
A dirty player? What, they have a dirty player, don't they?
No, they don't. It's missing this game.
But how much is a dirty player roster?
A dirty player roster is 120.
Quite expensive.
So you could get a dirty player roster and one bribe and a babe, or you could spend some cash and get two bribes.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. I have gone for Carmack on this one already, and I think the most people have. In fact,
I've gone for a draw, but yeah, I think Carmack's probably slightly favoured.
Yeah. Hey Ratamo, only one DP rotter indeed. It's not enough, is it? And that is really going to cost him when he's MNG for this game, where he's going to really want.
There was another one who got murdered.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the Wrestle one. Of course. But yeah, I think everyone thinks Carmack's going to win this one.
Well, most people do.
Almost, yeah. You and one other person have gone for a draw, but you're in the minority. All right, so
Yeah,
next.
And Carmack, of course, because we've already talked about his lack of self-belief.
Ah, yes, so Carmack's gone for a draw, of course. Putting himself down to drop 2 points in the playoff race.
It is the kind of hedging mentality as well, right? Because then if you win, then you don't care that you got your bet wrong. But if you draw, then at least you get a consolation.
See, I told you, Ratamo was. Yeah, we saw you were here at the beginning, and we were asking you if the sound levels were good, and then I said maybe he's got us on mute, and I was right. He has us on mute. So you only watch for my beautiful face, then. Excellent. I better put the camera actually on screen more. At the moment, it's actually off the screen a bit. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, we better speed this up.
Yeah.
Because I've got to jump soon.
Cool. All right. Fine. So, Papa Nasty against Javelin.
Yeah.
Brilliant Green are down to 1870 TV for this game.
Yeah. So we saw they lost one of their best blitzers.
And a Blackhawks at MNG'd at least. Still have 12 players. Have they replaced the Blitz already? Yeah, they've replaced the Blitz already.
Has Javelin replaced his Wolf?
That's a good question. He doesn't have the money to. He hasn't. No, there's only one Wolf on the screen.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point in champs, do you even replace the Wolf? Like, is a fresh Wolf actually?
Yeah, probably not.
Worth the cost.
Probably don't want it. I mean, especially because he's carrying. Oh no, sorry. Actually, he managed to level up his rookie white. Got it guard. Which is good. But yeah, at some point he's gonna have to buy it.
I mean, like, if he did have the money to buy it now, which he doesn't, buying it now would stop him having Cheney. So as it is, he can have a Wizard and Cheney against Brilliant Green, and if he
Yeah.
bought a new werewolf, I don't think he could afford that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He wouldn't.
I wouldn't buy it now.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't buy it
Yeah.
now either. So yeah, he's probably getting a Wisdom Cheney, and for that reason, I'm actually going to go for a draw because Cheney is my hero.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in the same kind of same mindset where I generally Necro are I think the matchup favors Necro over Orcs. They tend to do well against Orcs, but I think Javelin's team is in a bit of a death spiral, and Papanastia's team probably just has enough to make it a draw.
Yeah, I mean, like, having a bunch of zombies that you can just throw on orcs, especially the black orcs, and kind of neutralize them in some way or shape or form is pretty useful, isn't it? And in the TV matchup, even though he's got a lot more TV, being able to just throw a 40k player at a 120k worth of block and guard strength 4 is pretty good. And then running around them with ghouls and werewolves. Yeah, okay, so next is Gimlick against Dalibor. So Gimlick's on 2010 TV for this one. 12 players. Still got a killer and an Agi up, Mighty Blow, Blitzer, and a Strength
His
Bust,
team,
one turner, but still, who cares?
his team is in pretty good shape.
Yeah. He's basically got all the weapons a high elf coach would want, right?
Yeah, yeah, and you don't care about the strength bust.
Managed to, and also last game got 3 touchdowns and all of them on one catcher that he's got dodged so far and probably wants to get blocked too. So two more touchdowns on this player. I'm pretty sure will be the plan given the choice. Dalibor, having lost to the other Dark Elf team, looking a little bit beat up, missing his guard strength lineman, which is a pretty big deal. Only having 9 players, so he's actually on 1880, but still that's enough to get a wizard. Just if he spends a bit of cash, which I'm sure he'd be willing to spend 20k to get a wizard, right?
It's Gimlick doesn't have a Wizard Stadium, right?
Oh wait, yeah, you might be right. Actually, he might actually have a wizard stadium. Well, wait, was Gimlick was the high elf team
I
who
have a
he had it and he got rid of it, didn't he? No, that was it.
I have a feeling he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, he got rid of it at the beginning of the season.
Well, I mean, I'm going with Gimlick because I just think his team is just, pretty insane at the moment, and I don't see Dalibor, as good a coach as he is, being able to overcome the difference.
I still do think that Dalibor is a better coach than Gimlick, and for that reason, I've gone for a draw. If that makes sense, like I do.
Yeah.
I agree with you that the high elf team is stacked more than the dark elf team can really cope with. Except, I think actually no, I changed. That one turner really makes it hard to and the killing potential of the blitzers.
Yeah, I just don't think Dalibor. I mean, Dalibor has got 1 or 2 really nice pieces, but his team is a lot worse than it used to be.
Yeah, no. Looking at the teams, I've convinced myself to go for Gimlick. You never know; it might entirely be the caster curse or whatever. But let's see. Okay, and last game of the week is Iltanir against Kinroth. Ooh. So
Big game for Iltanir if he wants to stay in the push for the title.
I mean, obviously, yeah. At this point in the season, all the coaches at the top really, really need to win their games, right? And Kinroth is also one of those coaches, right? So this is a big 6-pointer. Probably more for Iltanir, I guess, than Kinroth. So Kinroth, having lost a guard player, is now has 4 loners. No, 3 loners. So his TV is actually 1740. The Wood Elves. The Wood Elves are giving away 260 or 300 if they get rid of their bank bloat.
How many players do the Woodies have?
12.
Yeah, I think you just burn the cash.
Time to
But
get
if he burns,
time to
he
get
burns
Wizards. Oh wait, who's at home?
Kinroth,
Kinroth.
Wizard Stadium.
Kinroth does have a Wizard Stadium, so both teams are getting a Wizard. I have just changed my votes to Iltanir. Yeah, I think the Woody team looks so much better, right? Yeah, a Wizard Stadium indeed. Smoothie the Raccoon or Iltanir, whichever you'd rather be known as.
Yeah, I had gone for Kinroth, but I'm going for Iltanir now. So we'll
Yeah.
both give them kiss of death.
But before we looked at the teams, the betting was vastly in favour of Kinroth. No, I don't think he will. I think the value of a stadium is long term means you accept that, and also if Kinroth doesn't really care as much about Blood Bowl 2 as he did, what with the upcoming Blood Bowl 3 and everything else, then why? Why not keep it and get 2-star players instead, or a star player and something else maybe. Hmm.
Okay, if we're gonna do 1B, let's do it quickly.
Okay, fine. I was just thinking, but yeah, sure. He could just, anyway. Given the Overdogger Stadium is weird, yeah. Yeah, it's slightly bad, but this is the edge case, right? This is one of the times where it's not worth it, and the rest of the season it's worth it, right? So you just accept the bad times. Is the way that I see it. All right, quickly we're going to do 1B, which is mine and Ethel's division, and we did actually play each other this week, so it would have been good for Ethel to actually have been on the call. Unfortunately, his work has stopped that. But let's get to it anyway. So first of all, Giraffe Shepherd against Arwen's Arrows. Not quite Giraffes against Arwen's Avengers. Two teams that have named slightly after their coach name. Got a draw, 2-2.
Yeah.
And
only one person bet on that.
Yeah, and there wasn't particularly anything exciting to say about the game except, no Kaz at all, no noticeable damage. Who was the one person?
It was the genius known as Carmack.
Where are we? 5 points for Carmack. There we go. Let me get to the right place over here. All right, fine. Nothing else to say. I was in Giraffe's channel recently, but I don't remember. We didn't really talk about OCC. I vaguely assume she's not happy about it because she's not been doing that well. Mongloom against Dreamland. I remember Dreamland posting in Discord about this.
There was some talk about a mega dicing, I think.
Yes, what Dreamland basically said, this was just a dicing. Everything went wrong for Kislev, and everything went right for Dreamland.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things about playing Kislev, right? Is that when your leaping just doesn't work, especially against a stronger team, then you can be in big trouble.
Yeah, playing Kislev against Necro is not my favorite time anyway. Like, you can sack the ball, but there's all this stink around, so you might not get it the way, and it's just like
against Nurgle, not Necro.
Nurgle, that's what I meant. Sorry, yeah. Get my ends mixed up sometimes. All right. But yeah, pure dicing. Yeah. I mean, and that's Kislev are a dice reliant team. When the dice go well is when they win, and when it goes badly, they're screwed. Yeah. Basically, they need the dice to be working.
Pretty much. So Carmack again betting on the right result, along with Javelin, the only two people who bet on this. But it's worth mentioning that it did rely on a comedy mega dicing for it to happen.
Yeah. Okay, next is Pizdets, the other Nurgle team,
Yeah, against the Orcs.
against the Orcs of Van Esterlane. Ooh, and no one bet on the Orcs for this one. And they were right because the Necro won.
Yeah, I mean, if there were a few bets for the draw.
Yeah, I think the draw was no, not quite. Yeah, it was almost equal between draw and Nurgle, but no one thought the Orcs would win, which is kind of surprising. No big removals for the Orcs either. Not even dead goblins.
Yeah.
Uh,
So people who bet on the Nurgle were Brakudi,
yep.
Kinroth,
Yep.
Berto,
Yep.
Galentio,
Yep.
Carmack,
Yep.
and Ethelred getting a rare point.
Boo. Cool. That puts me and Ethel on equal points. Okay. The next game is Athletica Lunatics against Scalemates. I'm having real trouble talking today. Should have finished my breakfast before we started streaming. I think it's low blood sugar. Anyway, there we are. Ruthie's Norse, who are my opponents this coming week, against Hawkster's Lizardmen, 2-2. I am guessing there was some damage because it was Norse against Lizards, and there's always some damage somewhere. Dead Dirty Player. Another MNG Norse lineman. 2 touchdowns for the Armor Bust runner, which I'm not sure I'd be aiming to get touchdowns on him, or even. I mean, I am also keeping a blodge step guard.
I mean, his other runner has sure hands, does he?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this one's move 8, so I guess it was just easier to score with it, or maybe he was just kind of, pushed into it.
I mean, it got him his superstar level, so maybe he was actively trying to get to that 76 as well.
That's true.
And MVP to the plus strength berserker, getting him a level as well.
So what do you even give that if it's a normal?
So a lot of people, I mean, like the reason for having a Zerker is piling on, right?
No, I mean the runner.
The runner. Because it's move up, do you lean into that and go sprint or sure feet or something? Or maybe if he's a
armor 6, I mean sure feet I would consider. I wouldn't consider sprint with armor 6 as well.
And maybe Fend is the other choice, I guess, right?
Fend I actually quite like on this.
Yeah, I mean guard step
with the guard.
Yeah.
Stop it getting piled on too.
Yeah, I guess Fend is probably like he hasn't taken it yet, and we're playing next, so I obviously care what he picks. As I do also have obviously quite a lot of frenzy and a bit of piling on myself. Fend would be annoying against me, but fine. The Scalemates got an MNG Saurus, but that was about it, and no level ups or anything else either. So who bet on a draw?
I wonder if you can guess the one individual who bet on the draw.
Is it Carmack?
It was fucking Carmack.
I
think we're going to have a steward's inquiry about Carmack's betting.
Maybe Carmack knew how well he did this week before he said the words "I am the smartest man," and so knew that he's actually now equal with Kinroth as the with the best points. So
Yeah, I mean he's definitely nailed a few of them that no one else got.
Yeah.
So,
and that's how you get ahead.
Yeah.
All right, so last game of the week, and for the people who actually watch this, the most interesting game probably was me against Ethelred, and is this why Ethelred stuck in work? By the way, did he not want to relive this?
Probably.
Yeah? I absolutely murdered him, and not.
I mean, it was pretty obviously going to happen though.
Yeah, but it was an early dicing, like 4 elves, like so clumping is a phrase, is a word I like to use quite a lot. It happens in
Yeah.
stats. Random numbers clump.
Yeah. And when they clump at the beginning of a game, it's
Yeah.
particularly bad.
So I got 4 dark elf removals, maybe 5, I can't remember, and they all happened in the first 3 turns. And Ethelred
Yeah.
kind of gave up, and I kind of gave up as well. So I didn't even score on my drive because I lost track of what drive it was because I was too busy trying to get the pitch clear, like an idiot. But then
Yeah. No, it was. You should have just said it was a power move. You
apparently,
did.
yeah, I
You
don't.
didn't. Also, it meant he had one less shot at his KO rolls.
Yeah, yeah, it was entirely the space cadet strategy of giving him less KO rolls that was in effect. I didn't foul enough. Ethelred managed to get sent off with his first or second foul, which also added into the loss of players on the pitch. I think. Um, so
Yeah.
yeah,
So you
but
want to know who bet on you?
well, I know that I did, but who else? Go on.
Yeah, Palladius. Yeah, obviously you.
Yeah,
Um, Carmack,
you're.
Berto, myself, Spider, and Gruff getting on the board.
It's not an old-fashioned telephone. I have an iPhone, but I just have an old-fashioned ringtone to it. um, yeah,
Right, quick look at the table.
yeah. Quick look at the table. Yes, you're right. Uh, oh wait, is this correct? I have a feeling that Spike might not be. So let's go to the 1B table here instead, which says that Darius is at the top, 1 point ahead of Mongloom. And then the 2 Norse coaches who face off this week are 3rd and 4th.
Actually, quite tight. The top four at least.
Yeah, top 4, and then
Well,
below
actually,
that.
even Hawkster's not that far off, as he's had a lot of draws.
Well, I mean, Hawkster, Van Estelen, and the Nurgle are all on the same points.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, they're on 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I guess is only 2 points behind, but still, no, it's 3 points behind. But with only 3 games left, I don't know.
No, it's 5 points behind.
Maths is hard. Yeah, you're right. It's 5. Okay. No, it can't be. What?
The Lizards and
Anyway.
the Orcs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those 3 teams have 5 points.
They're 5 points behind Pizdets. Yeah.
And
Sorry.
the two Norse have 10 points.
Yeah. No, I was looking at the line between the Lizards and the Norse rather than compared to Darius. Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, you're definitely very much in promotion, in with a good chance of going back to champs.
Yeah. We'll see how it looks after this week because I think this week is going to be messy. But we'll see that in a second. But the bottom half of the table is also still pretty close, right? Those 3 teams are all together, and then there's 1 point down to Arwen, and then 1 more point down to Ethel and Giraffe, right? So pretty close still. Three games left. Only Ethel and Giraffe are out of reach of Darius, right? Mathematically speaking, ignoring the actual scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
Like theoretically, if they could win all their 3 games and they could lose all their 3, then anyway. But the reality is probably not that. That is probably not the case. So Arwen's Avengers play Dreamland's Gassy Gang for the first game this week. Arwen's Avengers are on 1800 at the moment. They do have a level up and 12 players. And they're against Dreamland, who's the lower TV team are 1830. Wait, no, they're not the high TV team. Maths hard. but they do have 2 levels. More, so yeah. So they will definitely be the higher level team. Also 12 players.
Just the one tackle piece, but it is. Oh no, 2 tackle pieces.
Yeah, 2 tackle pieces. One is the killer with the full stack of tackle, claw, mighty blow, palm, whatever, and the other is a wrestle, tackle, frenzy, dodge, pestigore. So
Bit of a
obviously
weird best score, but
this
yeah.
kind of Saka, surfing threat, general sweeper, pestigore, which I think can be strong enough. I have actually picked a draw when I didn't look at the teams. Having
Yeah.
looked at the teams, I'm going to change my bet to Dreamland.
Yeah, I had gone for the Dark Elves, but I actually think Dreamland should win this. Yeah.
Yeah. No offense, Darwin, but I think Dreamland's a better coach, and the team looks slightly in his favour as well. Okay, so next is Van Esterlane versus Giraffe Shepherd. Van Esterlane's Orcs, who the physics boys are 1970, 13 players. Brand new Blitzer does have a level. So against Giraffe's very beleaguered undead team. I think she lost another ghoul last week. She now only has 1 ghoul.
Be interesting to see what he takes as his first level on the Blitzer. Whether he goes for the mighty blow, level him fast route, or another guard. Or he could go tackle. He went tackle first on a couple of his other blitzers.
Yeah, but I think it was like 2 support blitzers that both went guard first and 2 tackle first that have both obviously matured into killers, right? So I think I'm expecting another guard here. And
I think guard or mighty blow would be the most likely.
I think guard is the best option. Like, he's basically complete with guard effectively. There's not going to be that many more games of Blood Bowl 2 that you can really go, well, I'm going to take mighty blow because I want him to get to guard and then other skills later on. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just think you just take guard now. I had gone for Shepherd, but having looked at her team, man, there's not much of an undead team there.
Almost everyone's gone for the Orcs.
Yeah. It's going to be a tough one. It's a lot of TV to make up with, not very much of a team behind it at all. And I think Orcs tend to do all right against undead. Maybe we said earlier that Necro do well against Orcs, and undead have the same option of doing things with zombies, but the slightly slower team, I think, not having wolves, having ghouls instead, I think changes a bit. But anyway, next is Mongloom against Hawkster. Mongloom's Jimmy's Leaping Adventures, 1660. They're actually away to Hawkster's Scalemates. Have a look at Scalemates first.
You know what? You know why his team has that name?
Because it's a rock team. It's rock themed, right? So I assume it's Jimi Hendrix. I don't know why. No.
Remember, his previous OCC team was a Camry team, which you and I both played against.
Yeah.
And that team was a rock themed team, and he had that legend Blitzra, who was Jimi Hendrix. Remember, who was the strength 4.
Movement up, blodge, break tackle or something crazy. I can't remember.
Exactly. So this team is to avenge Jimmy. I don't know if Jimmy actually died or.
Yeah, I think did I kill him? No. I definitely. We definitely did a recap of his death, though. I remember him dying. And it being the end of the team. Yeah.
I guess that was basically the end of his team.
Yeah. And like everything else had died before that. He had some pretty good throw rars before. And he had some Tomb Guardians that all, like, there was one game that 2 or 3 of them died. 2 of them died and one got a strength bust or something. So he was the only reason the team existed for one more season than it otherwise did, and then he died too. I think.
And now he's got pretty nice Kerry team. Kerry. Kislev team.
Yeah. Well, they're against this 1730 Lizard team who are missing one of their strength 5. Kislev against Lizards, I would tend to favour the Kislev, right? Like your
Yeah.
strength
Well,
2 ball carriers
yeah,
against,
so hard to protect the ball.
yeah. And they do have both of their Agi 4 guarding linemen, so getting 2 dice on the Skinks, especially the ball carrier, is going to be a piece of piss.
Yeah.
Even with the Lizards guard spam, it is going to be 11 players against 11, I think. Mongloom getting not very much inducements, 70k of inducements. But yeah, almost everyone has gone for Mongloom. Only Javelin has gone for a draw. I'm guessing he didn't look at the teams before he picked that. But yeah, I think Mongloom has this game to lose, or the dice could help him lose this. But really, realistically speaking, Kislev do really well against Lizards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next is Ethelred's game against Darius. After getting beaten up last week by Norse, Ethelred is at home, so he does get a wizard because he also has the Wizard Stadium. He's got 11 players for this game. He at the end of the game with me, he instantly bought a new lineman, even though it's just replacing a loner, and I think that's a terrible plan. Let's see if something dies against this Nurgle team.
I'm amazed his strength 4, which is still alive.
Yeah. She cast herself in our game, snaking a GFI, which he appoed instantly because obviously he wanted to win. And then she was on the pitch maybe 2 more turns of the game in the second half before also being removed. So yeah, it's not so much that he's got better at protecting his witches, it's just that she's not rolled to death yet. Against this team, though.
I mean, he's got the one proper killer. I pressed to go with only tackle. It's a bit strange, but I mean, obviously useful against Ethel, and then the strength 5 warrior.
Yeah. Mighty Blow, Tackle, and Claw is pretty good.
Who knew?
Ethel gets 100k, so Day Player is out for this game, but Ethel will probably still go for a bribe and will still try and foul. And we'll
I'd probably go for 2 babes or an Apo or a Merc rather than a bribe if he doesn't have a dirty play.
Yeah, I'd rather a second wizard. Is that allowed? I don't know.
No, not allowed.
But yeah, probably a Merc. Stick on the line. Literally everyone except for Ethelred has gone for Dara on this one. So yeah, not looking good.
Nope.
And then the last game of the week.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you about to say something, or were you shuffling us on as well?
No, shuffling you on.
Okay, is Ruzi against me or me against Ruzi? I am at home. My Norse are now 1840.
You have the surfing stadium? Which stadium do you have?
No, I have the Knuckle Altar because I am used to being the lower TV team and getting star players.
But you're not.
Well, I can buy Bomber for 10k, which I think is worth it if I remember. I was also at home against Ethel and intended to buy a Bomber for 10k and then forgot when we started because I was.
Yeah. Although he's not as good against elves, but yeah.
He's not as good, but it's still like a 10k player that you can stick on the LOS, right? Not enough DPs, says General Ratamo, when I have 3 dirty players. And Ruzi only has 1, I think.
Ratamo, the important thing is he doesn't like to foul.
One thing that Ratamo might be horrified at is I actually fired a dirty player and at the end of Ethel's game and replaced him with a... oh no, did I replace him? I didn't replace him. No, I just fired him. I think I was on 14 players because of MNGs or something. And I've gone down to 13 to avoid giving Ruzi too many inducements.
You actually have a reasonable amount of guard now.
Yeah, I rolled 2 doubles, both on dirty players, which is annoying. But yeah, so now I have 5 guard players, which is pretty good. I'm, despite the niggle on May, I'm pretty happy with the team actually now, which is
Yeah.
annoying.
Well, I mean, if you manage to qualify for champs, it's probably worth just having one last go at it.
Yeah, Ruzi only has 11 players and has that level up on the runner he's not taken. He did take the piling on the Berserker, which suggests either he's in multiple minds about what to do with his runner skill, or it's something interesting. So maybe it's another double. I don't know what you take as another double on a Blodstep guard runner. I guess Jugs, Mighty Blow. Don't know.
If it's a double, um, hmm.
If it's a stat, obviously you take it. If it's strength up, it's amazing. If it's agi up, it's pretty good. If it's movement up,
It is armor 6 though.
yeah. But it's yeah. So it's a lot of TV to be potentially leaving the pitch.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Fend.
Yeah, I think Fend would be most annoying to me for this game, but I don't think it's necessarily the right choice overall. But you know, what can I say?
Yeah. So he's getting some inducements.
He will. So it depends on what this level is. Let's assume it's a normal. He's on 1770. He is now getting 70k of inducements. I fired a 60k player to make it
He
less
can also in Blood Bowl 2, you can both get the same star player, can't you?
No, that's the other reason for getting Bomber. If I buy Bomber, he can't get Bomber. The Overdog,
okay.
if the Overdog gets a star player, it is not available to the Underdog.
So does he have any other cheap star player options?
Chainsaw is about that much, but you know, I kind of think Chainsaw's are bad. Who else? Obviously, like, so I was actually equally worried about him either getting the Wizard or possibly even going as far as getting Cheney for 190, which is how much he would be with the stadium.
But he's only got 50k money.
Yeah, so before I fired the 60k player, I think he could just afford him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he spent all his money, he could have got Cheney. So now I fired a player, he can't get Cheney. The next lowest is Helmet, who will be 60k, which is still pretty good, I guess, and a spare player and a chainsaw. And if I buy Boomer, he can't get Boomer. So this is a game where I need to remember to buy Boomer.
I'm going with a draw.
I've obviously gone for myself, and I assume Ethelred has gone for Ruzi. Or he's gone for a draw, or he's voted for me. I don't know. I can't see him, but maybe he's not voted on this one yet.
Anyway, we should probably call it a day.
Yeah.
I need some food.
Yeah, I will raid someone with our 5 viewers.
You know who you could raid? Who's a new Irish streamer, level 2 streamer? There's a guy called It's Keithabix. Can you see him?
Yeah, I actually played him in CCL.
Did you?
A little while ago.
He plays in the Irish League, so I have come across him before.
But yeah, I saw I've seen him on a bit. Is he pushing for you know, partner or anything? But yeah, I'm happy to do that.
I know he just started streaming like a week or two ago, so it's good to give him a bit of support.
Cool, I will do that, and obviously I think everyone, you know, it's good to support. I pretty much follow all the Blood Bowl streamers that I see. So you know, I suggest everyone else do the same and follow him. Have you actually met him, or have you played him online a bit?
I think I've played against him just in the Irish League online. But actually, now that you mentioned that, this weekend I'm going to play a tabletop tournament here in Cork, going with my son. And
cool.
There's 28 people signed up. With the organizers like the 29th as the spare if we get to 30.
Yeah.
But still, I think it's going to be the biggest ever tabletop tournament in Ireland at this rate.
Wow. Okay.
So
Cool.
the tabletop scene is starting to
It's
grow. Good thing.
burgeoning.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I will race across. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. And we're gone.
Yeah. I pressed the button. Cool. Although I didn't get raided across with a stream before, but now it's worked. Hurrah!
Oh,
Ah, see, look, he's got music.
he's got the Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, it's the thing. Don't. Ramo said, "Don't bloodlust," and you get another follow. That's pretty funny. All right. Thanks for being with us and stuff. Oh, the stream's
Yeah.
still going. I always forget to stop stream. Anyone's watching the VOD. Goodbye to you too.